What up, everybody? It's time for another celeb interview, and I'm so excited about this latest one because this gentleman right here, I consider him to be one of the funniest people on the planet. Felipe Esparza. How you doing, Felipe?
What's up, everybody? How you guys doing? Thank you very much for that intro.
Awesome. Thank you for taking the time, man. I'm a big fan of yours. I'm a huge
Thank you,
fan.
bro.
Congratulations on your dual Netflix stand-up special, dual language, Bad Decision. And you made history for being the first Mexican American to have an English and Spanish comedy special on Netflix.
Yes,
How does that make you feel to be the first to do that? I mean, I always feel like being the first comes with pressure, right?
it's gonna be a lot of pressure because there's gonna be other ones that are gonna be doing it, and they're gonna be
Mm,
comparing it to mine. And go, wow, this other one's better.
nice. So
I
you made
hope
history, man.
so. I want more people to do it. To like expand their horizons, so to speak. I'm really hoping that more Latino comedians will do a Spanish special. Not the ones who live out of the United States. I'm talking about Americans, any Latino American who lives in America. So we can go on tour together, get paid.
Now, before we get to talking about Bad Decision, since this is the first time you and I chat, I'm curious, what made you decide to have this as your career? Did you wake up and get out of bed one day and said, you know what, I want to be a comedian?
Man, I guess from watching a lot of stand comedy in Spanish when I was a little kid, my whole family, we would sit down and watch a show called El Chavo del Ocho, Chespirito. And we would watch so much comedy as a family and we'll laugh together in Spanish. Then later on, you grow out of hanging out with your family or your dad doesn't want to hang out no more because we're not kids anymore. I started liking stand-up comedy real early. Someone introduced me to Richard Pryor in the seventh grade, like an album. And I remember laughing so much. And I remember coming home from school and seeing these guys drinking 40 ounces and smoking weed and listening to Eddie Murphy Delirious.
Yes.
Like they were listening to it and laughing, man. I said, wow. And I was hiding on the side, so they wouldn't see me, trying to listen with my ear. And I memorized those jokes right away. As soon as I heard them, I memorized them. I knew them. And I never picked up anything like that. Math, English, reading, nothing. Nothing grabbed me the way stand-up comedy did at that very young, where I could just remember the joke and go home and tell somebody.
What are some of your inspirations that you draw from for your material? Because I watch your stand-up, Bad Decision. You talk about family, culture, random folks you saw on the freeway, which cracked me up. Yeah, yeah. Man, my day sucked.
I used to have a joke. I don't know if I did it in my specials. I said, you ever go home after a night of heavy drinking and heavy partying, or you come home tired from work at night, and then you just lay down on your bed and reflect on your life and say, man, I haven't done shit. But then you hit your brother on the top bunk bed, but you're the loser up there. You're up there with your son.
But you don't do necessarily political comedy, do you? You
No,
keep it light.
most of my political comedy, if I say it, it'll be live, but I won't say it in a special because it won't hold up in time. Or maybe I might have a joke about somebody, politically, but later on when my special comes out, he's innocent. Or I might have a political view that's kind of popular at the time when I do my special. And then when my special comes out, we get another 4 years.
You're right. And the news cycle keeps,
Yeah,
exactly.
I might get canceled. For real, it's so tough to do a political joke because
That's
that
true.
political joke would have to be so funny that it will just last forever. That's why the best is George Carlin.
Yes.
Because he didn't really pick names, when people do political jokes now, they like to throw in names like Biden or President Trump or Nancy Pelosi or the First Lady Hillary Clinton, or President Obama. You know, when you use names, and if you're gonna do a special, you gotta keep in mind that this special is gonna be there forever now.
That's true.
It's gonna live on Netflix for 10 years, 5 years, and it's not gonna not grow. It's not gonna be like wine, man. It's not gonna get better in time.
Agree.
That joke is gonna get so bad and so worse that one day that joke might ruin your career 10 years later.
That's true.
It's like I need a comedian from the future, to come back in a broken down Volvo and tell me, Felipe, don't do that political joke. That joke is gonna make you lose your house 10 years from now. So yeah, that's what
That's true.
my political jokes are easy. Like I said, like when I said that in my last special, translate this. I said people always ask me, Felipe, what do you think about immigration? And I'm like, I don't know, man, because I'm already here.
To that point, though, let's get to bad decision because it's both English and Spanish. Now, you know me, I'm Indonesian. I don't speak Espanol. Would love to learn someday. I need to. After 21 years living here, I should. but when I translate from English to Indonesian, some words could get lost in the way, because there's some idioms or some catchphrases that just,
Or puns.
one language doesn't have compared to the other. Like, what are the challenges that come with doing dual language comedy material?
For me,
Yeah.
was the accent and the
Mm.
timing.
So the jokes still come across just fine.
Yes, like I had a joke about a guy growing up who peed on himself instead of a bus, and and the word for a bus is called camion,
Mm.
and to pee on yourself is called mion, mion, mion. So a bus is called camion. So
Mm.
what my joke was, there was a kid that we gave him a nickname called Camion because he peed on the bus. And man, that play on word camion, putting P and a bus together to mean that he peed, killed in Spanish. But in English, nobody wants to jump on board and write that joke. That joke sucks in Spanish, in English. Doesn't work.
So
And some jokes I just forgot to say them in English. Because I was so focused on the Spanish, because the English special, I already had memorized it, by heart. First of all, when I do a 1 hour special, I don't know how other comedians do it. I don't have a big closer. What I do is, I don't get stuck on a closer, on a big clothing joke. When that starts happening in my act, I start testing my material. Like I will do crazy stuff. Like I'm gonna use that closing killer joke, and I'm gonna open with it, just to challenge myself to be that funny for the whole hour.
here's my next question. This is something I'm very curious about. A lot of comedians or stand-up comics, their goals are either three things, right? They want to be a Saturday Night Live cast member, they want to have their own talk show, or they want to have their own sitcom or comedy series. Is that either one of those three part of your goals someday or objectives as a
Those are
career?
great. Those are great goals to have as a stand-up comedian, but also those great goals come with a lot of sadness and disappointments and heartbreaking and a lot of time invested to put in. And a lot of people think that they're just gonna give you a sitcom just because you're cute. Nah, man. To get a sitcom, I'm gonna break it down. To get a sitcom, you gotta hook up with a showrunner. And the showrunner has to be backed up by a studio that wants to do that sitcom. And it helps if you hook up with a showrunner that has a TV deal already and has a TV deal with somebody. That way, when he goes pitches to the pilot with you, if he gets a yes, boom, he has a deal. We got a yes. All we need is a studio now. Boom. So I do want a sitcom. My wife and I, we pitched a sitcom last year and we got a no. And 2 years before that, we pitched again and we got a no. But a year before that one, with the first time, we actually had a TV deal with ABC.
Wow.
They gave us a lot of money to stay with them for a year. They wrote a pilot. ABC turned it down, and we
Mm.
moved on. But now I've been pitching again with an actor named Omar Chaparro from Mexico, and things look
Yes.
good right now.
Yes. I'm familiar with Omar. He's very
Yeah,
famous.
him and I, we did a movie together during the pandemic.
Oh
With
yeah.
we had to do COVID-19 tests to be on the set. Every time we showed up to the set, they would take our temperature. The movie is called Seventh and Union. Look out for it next year.
How difficult was it to? Because you did deals with HBO and you did deals with Netflix. What are some of the challenges of making, like, hey guys, let me in. I'm this hot new thing. Let me have a new stand-up comedy special on your
Yeah.
platform. How'd you get them to get on board?
Well, the first special happened so fast. The one I did with Showtime, I spoke to a comedian named Alex Raimundo, and
Mm.
I told him that I want to do the special. And the next day, he called up his manager and told him. And 3 days later, I get a call and they told me, get ready to do your special in 2 weeks. That fast.
Wow.
The second one, my wife and I try to get a deal with everybody. Like we have meetings, but they turned us down. They turned us
Mm.
down. So we put up our own money together,
Damn.
you know,
That's good.
DIY, and we produced it ourselves. We shot it ourselves. We edited ourselves. We hired our own crew. We had the guy who edited my Showtime special. He directed my second special, and that special we sold it to HBO. We
Mm.
didn't get an HBO deal. We sold it, and they leased it for 2 years, and now we took it off HBO. We own it.
Ah.
It's ours. And the third special and fourth special, we had a meeting with Netflix. It's funny, bro. We get to the Netflix studios, and Netflix has a big building, man. Up their whole first floor is Netflix, and I get there, and there's a Lamborghini parked right in front of the building, like a brand new Lamborghini. Like, you know how when your car heats up and you open the hood to look inside, this Lamborghini, you don't gotta open up the hood because you can see through it.
Dang.
It's made out of, I don't know, some hard glass. I think they use the same kind of material they use to make Wonder Woman's plane.
Wow.
So it's see-through, bro.
That's awesome.
And when I'm getting out in the elevator, I see Kevin Hart come out of the elevator with Pookie from
Yeah.
Chocolate Sunday at the Laugh Factory. You know Pookie, right?
Yeah, I know, I
And
know.
Kevin Hart tells me, "Don't worry about it." He goes, "I just warmed them up for you. They're ready for you. Good luck." So here, Kevin Hart had just came from getting a Netflix deal too. So when I go in there, we start talking, and I suggested to do a Spanish special, and they said yeah, and they said that we want to see it. So I did a big show in Silmar, California, at Casa Torres Mexican restaurant and bar. Totally Mexican restaurant. And one of those Mexican restaurants that's similar to one of those Chinese restaurants,
Uh,
where the Chinese restaurant also has a little banquet you can rent for
yes.
weddings and a party. And it has a little special dining, if you want to get the special dining.
Yes.
But this Mexican restaurant, man, has 3 tortilla makers, 4 banquet halls, and 1 place for shows. And it was tight. We were crammed in there, man, pre-pandemic. 98 people, bro. Boom.
Wow.
And the people on Netflix were standing there, bro, watching the whole show, and they loved it. And they told me, yes, they're at Silmar, at Casa Torres.
Man, I'm glad. Thank you for sharing that story because it seems that Netflix is very accommodating to comedians, of all the
Man,
platforms out there.
I was totally shocked and surprised that they didn't tell me to go to the Comedy Store, which I would have loved to do it there, or the Improv,
Mm.
Laugh Factory, Ice House, Flappers, Comedy and Magic, or even the San Diego, the Comedy Palace. No, man, regular Spanish Mexican restaurant. I didn't know they were gonna be there, and they come up to me with suits, congratulating me, man.
Dang,
So that was
man.
awesome that they got to see me in that audience.
Exactly, exactly. And congratulations on that. Now, as I'm winding on to my final questions, I gotta ask this: what? Because like you said earlier, we're living in a very polarizing time. What we say and do sometimes. Oh, the cancel culture might go after me for a
Yeah.
joke. So, what are what's your advice for aspiring comedians out there that might be they're nervous. They have to maybe I should walk around
I will,
eggshells about my jokes.
I will tell you, for every comedian out there,
Mm,
and if you want to get on television,
mm,
you gotta set up a goal for yourself. Don't any comedian out there starting off right now, do something that I didn't do. Set goals for yourself. Write
mm.
down 5 goals that you want to accomplish in stand-up comedy.
Five
And
goals.
make sure 5 at least.
Mm,
Because if you accomplish 1, hey, you're on your way. 1 would be get up on stage as much as possible, which is pretty tough right now during a pandemic. But man, there's shows out there. You gotta find them, but they're out there. 2, write every day, man. Write every day, like your life depended on it. Whether even if they're not jokes, make it a habit to write every day. And 3, um, get a TikTok page to let people know who you are and what you've been up to. 4, write a 5-minute set, a 5-minute comedy set. Don't worry about 1 hour. Write 5 minutes. 5 minutes without cursing, without saying any profanity. 5 minutes of stand-up comedy that describes who you are. And make sure those 5 minutes are hilarious.
yes.
And then 5, kill, bro. Kill like you're doing comedy Cobra Kai, like no mercy, show no mercy when you're on stage. Try to be funny, man, because the only way you're gonna make it in stand-up comedy if when you perform on stage and then the next comedian is nervous to follow you, or he's asking you if I could go up before you, or people are not. Every time you go perform on stage, you're so funny that the people behind you have to be as funny to you or they suck. You gotta set the pace with your comedy.
Mm.
Unless you're not doing those things, you're not gonna be noticed. You gotta be noticed. You gotta stand out from the crowd. Whether you're a magician, comedian, you gotta stand out, bro. You gotta be funny.
Mm.
You can't sound or talk about the same stuff that the other guy's talking about. You gotta be original.
Mm. So last, I want to get you to do a plug here. Where can my fans check you out online and stuff like that?
Check me out at felipesworld.com, FELIPES world, WRLD.com. And check out my Netflix special, Felipe Esparza, Bad Decisions, in English or in Spanish, Malas Decisiones, on Netflix. And right now, I'm in the top 5 Netflix specials right now in the hood. So I'm doing good, bro.
All right, man. I'm so
I'm
glad to hear that.
I'm the #1 comedy special in West Covina and La Puente and places in Texas.
All right. Well, everybody go check out Felipe Esparza. And also, Felipe, thank you so much for talking with me. I'm a huge
Thank
fan
you.
of yours.
Thank you,
Congratulations.
bro. Thank you.